So, Katarina, career high out there today. How did you feel out on the floor?
So,
No, yeah, take your time. Take your time.
yeah, I felt as soon as I got in the court, the first half was, we were all trying to get in the flow of the game. But then in the second half, we came back, I think, a little bit more, I would say, fresher and like clearer in mind, So I think that we were able to execute all of the things that we are trying to do, that we are working on every single day.
Okay, period.
For any of you, I'm sure the assist-to-turnover ratio has been a pretty frequent topic of discussion. You guys finally had a positive assist-to-turnover ratio tonight for the first time this season. What do you think was the key to getting that done?
We just need to slow down on our passes. A lot of our turnovers come from, the guards trying to get the ball inside or passing too fast off of one foot, not having balance, things like that. So once we were really focused in, conscious of how we were passing. We were slowed down. We were that was one of our goals before the game, was to have a positive assist turnover ratio. So that's something that we were really focused on today. So, yeah, I think once we focus on it, we always have a positive one. So we just need to keep that in the forefront of our minds when we play.
And I'm not going to ask Brad this question. I'll ask you. Only 9 fouls by the team today. What was key for that?
Because we need to learn that a lot of us need to be on the floor, so we can't have pick up early fouls and like stupid reaching fouls or fouling with our hands down, things like that. So I think that was the main focus of us, is moving our feet more and more communication, which was seen today, which was good, which is probably why we had a few less turnovers. Not me though, I have 4. I have 4, but as a team we did have less turnovers. We only had like 10, so I take accountability for like half.
What has the adjustment to playing ball in the United States been like, and how would you assess kind of where your game is at?
Yeah, it's been a little bit difficult, especially when it comes to the speed of the game, I would say the most. And also some of the major things like the offense is like 30 seconds instead of 24. So, yeah, you have more time, but we're still playing faster here. So that's, I think, the biggest difference. And also the defense fouling and all that. I think that the game in Europe is a bit more aggressive, and like a lot of things is allowed, and here you cannot. You have to play really from the distance, I would say. So I think that those are some major differences, and the things that I was trying to adjust to.
Rayo, it seemed like a concerted effort to get you the ball inside against the zone, kind of work inside to out. How did you think that went?
I think that's really good for us. We're going to get zoned a lot this year, so just us working on getting the ball inside, and if they double, kicking it right back out to lead for open 3. So I think that's a good thing about a zone. Once we learn how to do that, somebody's going to be always open. If they double on the inside, somebody's open on the wing for a post, for a shot. And then if the shot's not open, I can repost, so things like that. So I think once we get more comfortable in playing in the zone, that'll be good, yeah.
Isis came back today after missing a couple games. What does she bring?
Isis brings a lot of energy. She's obviously another body for the post, so if we get in foul trouble, we always need that. But she's very aggressive on offense and defense. She brings a lot of energy to the team. So I think without her in there, we kind of have like a dip in energy. So with her being back, it's a lot better.
Adia's talked about how they're working with you to jumpstart more, maybe, get rid of the offensive fouls and that sort of thing. So how do you think you're progressing in that?
I think that's why I shot 5 for 6 today, because I shot on balance and I shot the open shots. I didn't force anything. I don't think did I have a charge today? I didn't have a charge today. That's like the first time in like 4 games. So, but it's also those charges have made me a little bit more hesitant with driving to the basket. So I think I need to just play basketball and stop overthinking it and go off 2 feet, because that's making my percentage go up, and it's more accurate when I shoot off 2 feet and not out of control on 1. Coach, don't nod your head like that.
You guys have one more non-conference game before you start conference play. What else do you think you need to work on to sharpen up your game and get ready for the Big 12? For anybody?
I think just continue to gel, continue to learn each other's strengths and weaknesses and things to make everybody look good around us. And I think that's what Jada does a good job of, getting in the open. Like, she doesn't look to overshoot the ball. She looks to get people open. That's how I got my threes today, was her penetrating, passing the ball when you're open. So I think she does a really good job of that. Braid, too. Braid just makes the game easier. You can just throw it up there, and she's going to go get it. And she's really good at finishing inside, so I think it's a good option for her for us to find her, because she also knows how to kick it out to the open person, too. And then everybody else just figuring out more of, like, what their role is, and I think that's what we're doing really good of. Like, everybody's learning where to drive it in our offense and learning our defense as well, because, we trap and press all game. So I feel like us figuring out how and when to do that and the right people to do that with is really helping us. So, yeah.
You played the entire fourth quarter, mostly reserves in the fourth quarter, but you guys were playing really hard on defense. Was that a message from coach, like, don't look at the scoreboard, go hard every possession?
No, I mean, that's how are we supposed to play every time we are on a court. There's no any message that we have to be like, oh, there's a huge difference in scores, so like play, better defense. No, we just have to play it all the time, no matter who the opponent is. So that's that.
I've had them for like a year. I never wore them because they're kind of weird. But I was like, why not? Comfortable is important. Okay, welcome, you guys. I'm happy we got back in the W column. Was disappointed after the GCU game, just in how we kind of led, and at the end let it slip away. So I hope that you saw we got better today. Obviously, it's hard to gauge against different opponents and against the zone, but we weren't so stagnant against the zone. So we really took pride in working on some different situations and understanding where to get shots from, how to get shots against man or zone. And I thought we did a better job executing and sharing the ball. I hope it looked like that today. We moved the ball better. We didn't hold it so long. We still did it sometimes, but baby steps.
Assist to turnover ratio was positive for the first time this season. What do you think attributed to that?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's every day. And there was still, out of those 10, there was 5 we shouldn't have had. Think about it. Jumping in the air, not jump stopping, but then you saw people doing the things that we need to do more. So this is what I'm used to. But we had players like Helena Puello that really have a really high positive assist to turnover ratio. So as a team, this has to improve. So we are going to work on fundamentals daily until we do it. We are going to jump stop until people not literally throw up, but throw up in their mind, because we've done it so much. Back in my days, we would do it till we literally threw up. Now you can't do that, so we'll do it till we watch it so much and do it 1,000 times. It takes thousands of hours to break habits, but we are doing it much more. Is there a difference in Sky? I mean, Sky is not, she's still doing it a little bit, but she's taking 2-foot jump stops, and we call it our reverse jump stop, and she's finishing on balance, and she's finishing a lot better at a higher level. So once they do it and you show them on film repetitively, and then they do it, they look at you and it works, then they do it more. So then I know it's effective. So I'm just happy to see us convert to things.
Isis was back for you guys today. Just
Yeah.
Obviously, you've talked all season about how she's your best on-ball defender, but
Yeah.
what did she do well today? What do you expect moving
She
forward?
brought really good energy, and what I love that she looked to score. She's such an unselfish player, but we are better when she gets the ball and she's a threat. We aren't good when she doesn't look at the basket. So I tell her, like, you need to shoot those. Like, we're better when Montea looks to attack. And they have the space, and the way we space the floor today, they have one-on-one inside against a zone or man. So I like the fact that she was looking for that, and it's funny because we work on certain moves in practice, like we worked on the last week, and they did a couple of those moves in the game. So that was one of those moments as a coach, you're like, oh, you actually did that move, and they were like, yeah, you know. So just good job. I thought she didn't look like she missed a beat. She's one of our best trappers in our pick and roll situations. She's one of our best. She's better than everybody else at that. And just her energy and her experience. So we are so young. If you look on the floor a lot, we had all freshmen and sophomores. And Pauline is a lot, you know, she's one of the most experienced guards out there. So Isis gives us just awareness of certain situations. She knows where to move the ball. Isis rarely ever moves the ball back to the same side. Those are little things, but they really make a difference in the spacing of your offense. So she's a really good passer. She's our best post passer. Highlights say her and Taya. So those things, she doesn't turn the ball over a lot. So, but those things really matter. So when we can get, you know, we can consistently get from Isis, we can get 8 to 10 points every game, and she has to be able to do that. And I think she's very capable. But if she has to look at the rim, and you don't make a shot if you don't take a shot. So I was proud of her.
Bakersfield obviously doesn't have as much size as some of the teams you're going to face in the Big 12 especially, but as a strategy of getting the ball into Brea and then either, you know, if she's single going up, if she's double kicking out, is that maybe a tactic you can use against zones?
We have to be able to, because we're never going to be a 50% three-point shooting team. So if we stand out there and jack up shots, we're not going to win. And we're going to give up transition buckets all day. So the objective is you have a high efficient shot if the ball touches the paint off a dribble or a pass and then gets reversed. So reversals, you have a higher shot than just keeping the ball on one side because the defense is set. But then if you go paint touch and reversal, you're going to get an open high percentage shot. So if you look at the analytics for that, it's a huge difference. So you have to show players the numbers. You have to show on film, and then it works. So getting the ball to Brea, she's not selfish at all. She rarely shoots over a double team if she can't score. And she's shooting 67%. So she does a great job of kicking it. She got Lauren. Lauren was just off today, but she got Lauren 2 or 3 open threes. So that's what we need to do. And it may not be, she may go against someone bigger, which I think she can score. It does a couple things. It wears down their big. It gives us a chance to get their big in foul trouble. And then it gives players open shots. When it just moves around the perimeter, it makes Jada take like a contested shot, which is a low. That's why their numbers are so low. So the objective is to work for open shots. I mean, as we get better and more experience, the objective offensively is to work for an uncontested shot. So that's what you want on offense. You want to move the ball. You want everybody to touch it because as a player, you feel more confident. You feel more in tune with a team when you touch the ball. It can be a touch off a reversal, but touching the ball, there's value to that, and especially in women's basketball. I don't know about men's. But there's value to that. So it going inside out and everybody's involved, you feel involved in the offense. So it's psychologically, that's a huge difference. I just know as a player. So we did that today, and there was a lot. I'm sure you saw today. I saw it. But a lot more times where the ball got like 5 passes. I mean, most games we haven't done that. So those are things that are a testament to offense. But we don't have a problem scoring. Even against like team games we've lost, against better teams, we can score the ball. I mean, we have 4 or 5 players in double digits. 4 and almost 5, I think, with Lauren. The problem is defending. So we're not athletic really this year. So I have to modify some things. So we put in some different defenses today. But if you saw like some of the weak points we have is out of the trap, we should never give a backdoor pass. So that tells me we aren't using our hands correctly. So then my job is for us to close the trap better and, you know, be more aggressive when passed out of the trap, like those things. But we're just not there yet. And we're not able to convert the breakdowns and the practice to the games yet. And that's youth and that's repetition. So I'm hoping by, when does our season end? In April? Maybe we'll do it by March. No, but the objective is like, you know, in November, it wasn't good. December, it's a little better. So we're starting Big 12 soon. So by January, we need to be doing that. because we're doing, we're just, it as a coach, like I think you have to understand that, because me going to put in 6 more things and then we don't do anything well, it's like definition of insanity, right? Like it's stupid. So just kind of just got to dumb it down, and you coach the team where it's at, and you teach. And I think that's a part of coaching. When you don't have like all the all-stars, I think that's just what you have to do.
Season low in fouls tonight.
Yeah, I still.
Why do you think that was?
I mean, I think we're getting a little bit more disciplined. I think some of it was not being really aggressive. I want us being a little bit passive, like not as much pressure on the ball, which I recognize that. And then just the talent offensively. I think it's a lot harder to contain when you guard really freak athletes. So I think there's a combination of both of those things. But the thing is, in the past, you would have seen it slapping down. So we're working on that. But these are things that we're working on daily. We are working on playing without fouling. We are working on, I hate the bad habits of like walling up, like playing when someone's driving with your hands up like that. You can't do that. So getting down athletic and just learning those things and doing them every day. So we're going to be working on passing every day, boxing out every day, and our basic fundamentals every single day. Because if I put in 7 more offenses and we don't know how to pass the ball, it's like the offense is irrelevant. So like knowing how to pass it, knowing how to share it, knowing how the proper technique on defense is important. Like our closeouts were atrocious. Like you have to close out smarter, know who you're closing out to. So we have to work on that. But there's so much stuff to work on. It's like I got to pick a couple things a day because there's like a lot.
Katarina played a career high minutes.
Yeah.
Had, I think, a career high 9 points, knocked down 3 threes.
Mm-hmm.
How would you assess the state of her game, her progress, and what does she bring to the table?
I think that she's getting better. Her 3 is improving, and that's every day working on her shooting. I'm playing her at the 4 and the 3 now. I was only primarily playing her at the 3 before, and I was playing Montea more the 4, and I've switched that. Montea doesn't like as much contact right now, so Montea is still going to play 4, but Katarina's more physical, and then has a tougher time guarding some of the faster guards. So switching that, I think, is good. The areas that Katarina has to work better in is not holding the ball so much, not dribbling so much. Sometimes that's holding it, then we miss the opportunities for open shots, and then not turning the ball over so much, which I thought she was better today. But we saw one time, she needed to jump stop. Like those are basic things that, Lauren has to learn, but they're young. She's a freshman. And I think that what I love about Katarina is she has the will, she has the intrinsic motivation, she wants to be good, she believes it, and she works. So you can live with mistakes when they're playing with their hearts. Like Jada is off today, but she still plays because why? She runs the team. She communicates. Like she never turns inward. Like she can be playing bad. She can be she's sick today, but she's always talking to her teammates. She's chasing down balls. She's diving. Like those are valuable things when you talk about team and culture, and it's contagious. So they bring that. Katarina mainly, and they may make mistakes, but they work their butts off. So I was really focused on giving them opportunity. And that's what's hard for me as a coach. It's like these games you want to play JR more. I want to play Aaron in Brooklyn, but like I'm trying to get other people minutes. Like if I do that, I don't give Katarina this experience. So it's just figuring that out and the balancing that.
The second half success defensively.
I just think picked it up, like our intensity on defense a little bit more, changed some of our defensive stuff, did a little bit of full court pressing to zone, did some full court trapping to man, just mixed it up. But then those are things we've been working on because right now with our personnel, and we're not able to play the defense that I really want to play right now. That's just a fact. So I have to mix it up and figure out more creative ways to steal possessions and slow people down. So that was good. And we need to get confidence in that going into the Big 12.
There have been some games where you've been at 50% or maybe even lower on layups. Tonight you were above that mark. There were some instances where players were absorbing contact, going up strong and scoring. Is that something you've been working on?
Absolutely. That's that jump. So you saw jump stops. You still don't see Brea using her left hand every time around the rim. But that's another thing we're working on. But like Sky, it was intentional about it. Like Katarina was. You finished better like that. So it's a low percentage shot, taking a regular layup if it's not a fast break. Like you're not going to get a foul. You're not going to finish. So we're working with them on that daily. And those are those fundamentals. So in traffic, someone comes, I can't go run Kim over to take the shot. Like, it doesn't work like that. So I have to jump stop and make the passes and letting them understand. Like, sometimes I draw 2 people, not for me. I draw it for my teammate. And then with Sky, she still, her 2 turnovers, or 2 were to Brea, but then 1 was jumping and passing. I hate that. That's a turnover 80% of the time, but she's doing it less. And she's going a little bit more under control to the basket. So that's working. So we just keep on feeding her. And then I like the fact I listen. So she's in here saying, oh, I'm doing a better job of finishing better. So then I show her on film, this is like what you were doing before, this is what you're doing now, and it's working. So then they want to do it more because then she's seeing, I mean, she wasn't before 5 for 6. She was like 5 for 12 or 5 for 11. So she's finishing better, and she's strong and athletic. So I just want to keep on showing her that works because, I mean, she's playing well. And I could have played her more, but her foot's a little sore, so I didn't need to play them a ton of minutes.
What are you looking to get out of not only the game tonight, but the game against Weber State before you head into conference?
So stuff like this assist to turnover ratio, like us, because before, even against similar talent, we would have had 20 turnovers. So I think just seeing that stuff carry over to games, because it's going to really matter when you're playing really good teams in the Big 12, because those are fast break layups every time. So offensively, seeing us move the ball and get better shots. And then I don't mind Lauren missing those shots. Those are great kick-out shots, but those are good shots. And then defensively, us being a little bit more disciplined. And discipline is playing defense without fouling. You have to be able to play defense without fouling. And you can't last second always slap down, so getting better at that. Today, Brea did that a couple times, which she hadn't done in a while. So I want to eliminate that because that hurts you in big games. And then the ball moving on offense, faster instead of holding it and stalling the ball. I don't know why we're doing that sometimes. So those are things I want to see. And we did some of them today.
Katarina said there was nothing exceptional about the way that you guys played defense in the fourth quarter, but there is a human nature element that sometimes kicks in when you're up by 35 or whatever. What did you think of how hard they defended in the fourth?
It's important. I think it's important because those minutes matter. So I don't care what the score is. I talk to them about it's not about winning or losing. It's about us and getting better. So if you win the game, you don't play well, and there's no energy, it still sucks. I mean, it's I don't think that's the barometer of success. So us playing better and getting better and seeing some of that success is important. I think psychologically, I know for kids, a win's a win, but as a coach and as the players, improving on something. So we're improving on turnovers. Those things are really important. And playing hard for the whole game is important. There is no garbage minutes because Katarina's play is going to earn her more minutes next time. So it could be 2 minutes, it could be 10. It's you got to go hard. Montea would have played more today. She was a step slow. That's just a fact. She was very lethargic, a step slow and everything, and she didn't play as much. And she played 19 minutes, but this could have been a game she probably played 28 or 30. But so her intensity and energy has to pick up. And a lot of them are sick and stuff, but there's going to be situations like that. So you have to mentally be able to push through things. So I challenge them with that a little bit. And that's what I love about Maylene. Maylene comes in and she can turn the ball over, she can make mistakes, but she has energy and she has effort. And I think those are controllables. So we talk about that a lot with young teams, with this young team, and just you can control how hard you play. You can control your attitude and stuff, and you're correcting that stuff all the time, which is good. So you may, like Lauren, I said, you can miss shots, but then you don't go, that's not an excuse to not go run back on defense. So I talked about that in the timeout. So miss shots, it's okay. Great shooters have amnesia. So you should think you could be over 20, you should think your next shot's going in. But you miss a shot, you got to go fight on defense. Go get back, a possession back. Don't miss a shot, hang your head, not sprint back. But those are young things, so I can show her on film, hey, this is when you did it. But I felt like she corrected that in the game. So those are things with young teams, you got to coach that stuff because they don't realize it. Players don't think they do anything wrong, and then film doesn't lie. They're like, oh, I didn't do that. I'm like, yeah, you did. So it's fun. I think the process is fun because hopefully in a month I'm not talking about the same things. I have a feeling I will be talking about some of the same things, but the hope is to get us better and see improvement. Okay, cool, you guys. Thanks.